Breaking tonight, big news on President Trump's Iran strategy. Within the last few hours, the president says, quote, he couldn't care less if they negotiate. Despite what his national security advisor suggested this morning, the president reiterating his insistence that Iran will not get a nuclear weapon and urging the regime not to kill protesters, even as protests against the regime continue to grow, as thousands of people took to the streets to condemn their leaders for shooting down a Ukrainian passenger plane. In a moment, I'll be joined by Congressman Matt Gaetz for reaction. And we have a fantastic lineup for you tonight to break down all the latest news on Iran, impeachment and the 2020 race. Look at this. Tammy Bruce is here, Lisa Booth, Lawrence Jones, Katie McFarland coming up on Iran. Evening, everyone, and welcome to The Next Revolution. I'm Steve Hilton, and this is the home of positive populism, pro-worker, pro-family, pro-community, and, of course, pro-America. On Friday, Nancy Pelosi caved again, saying she'll send articles of impeachment to the Senate in a few days. Iran yesterday admitted to shooting down that Ukrainian passenger plane, while confirming that its response to President Trump's strike on terror chief Qasem Soleimani has concluded. Here's how I see things at the end of a momentous week for the Trump presidency and the start of what could be another defining 7 days. This show is called The Next Revolution, but tonight I want to talk about the Trump revolution, because I don't think there's been proper recognition of the substance and significance of what this president is doing. It's completely different from what we've seen before. It doesn't fit into the establishment's traditional ideological boxes. And that's why they waste our time with pointless political games like impeachment. We saw the new approach clearly with Iran. The Democrats, never-Trumpers and their media lackeys lurched wildly from calling Trump weak to branding him a warmonger. But his strategy has been consistent from day one. He's anti-war, but he's also anti-weak. No, he doesn't want to invade deserts of sand like the neocons, but he doesn't want to put his head in the sand like the isolation nuts either. It was the same over Syria, withdrawing troops from a conflict that's someone else's business, but a missile strike if you use chemical weapons. You saw it with North Korea. Fire and fury, and then historic negotiations. The same with China. Tough tariffs, but look what's happening next week. They're coming here to sign a deal. This is the Trump revolution, pragmatic, non-ideological. He approaches issues as a problem-solving businessman. It's actually a revolution in ideas, and it goes way beyond foreign policy. He's combining the best of traditional conservative ideas with positive populism, appointing conservative judges and criminal justice reform, cutting taxes and boosting family leave, cutting regulations, by the way, given a massive boost last week with new plans to reform the environmental bureaucracy that's blocking infrastructure construction, and cutting low-wage immigration. The result? Well, we know the story by now, but we see new chapters every month. Another positive jobs report on Friday. Unemployment, again, at a 50-year low. And here's the most important part. Earnings rising, not just for everyone, but fastest for the lowest paid, ending nearly 50 years of stagnation. So, how are the establishment Republicans reacting?
Donald Trump ran as a celebrity and has become the worst president in history.
Normal, walking around Americans are sad and embarrassed and exhausted.
The vast majority of Americans don't think he's doing a good job, think he's a bad president, think he's compromised by a foreign power, think he's dishonest, which he is, of course, think he's corrupt, which he is, of course, and thinks he's lawless, which, of course, he is.
He is an awful representative not only of the Republican Party, but the human race.
Just before the holidays, the Never-Trumpers published a manifesto in the New York Times. Quote, as Americans, we must stem the damage he and his followers are doing to the rule of law, the Constitution, and the American character. What? Trump's damage? Who backed the human and economic catastrophe of the Iraq War? Who brought in the disastrous 1986 immigration reform, creating the broken system that Trump is trying to fix? Who let China into the World Trade Organization, devastating American manufacturing to the point where we literally can't even print Bibles in America? Who pushed ruling class trade globalism that spawned the disastrous NAFTA, putting so many Americans out of work in the heartland? And who assaulted the American family with policies that collapsed marriage rates and family stability? No, not the evil Trump. It was you, the Republican establishment, who did this to America. These never-Trumpers are apologists for an elitist ideology that is anti-worker, anti-family and anti-community. So they can write whatever pompous, self-righteous nonsense they want in the New York Times. The establishment Republican Party is not coming back. It is dead, killed by their policy failure and Donald Trump's policy success. There's no constituency for their ideas except a handful of opportunists who traded their principles for a contract with the Democrats' cable news networks, where they poop off about the president's tweets while ignoring his policies. Here's the level of their analysis.
I truly believe he's the hamburger-eating, Zamboni-riding loon that we see on TV and on Twitter.
They're like pampered aristocrats in pre-revolutionary France, in powdered wigs and fake beauty spots, as they witter to each other, "My dear, Trump is so vulgar." Well, maybe he is, but if you're someone who's finally got a job after years on the scrap heap, you'll take that over elegant failure. If you're a patriot who's finally seeing America stand up to China and defend our borders, you'll come to the same conclusion. After Trump, it will be a different Republican Party. And for American workers, families and communities, that is fantastic news.